One of our key words within our business is community. And so our idea is that wherever we open, wherever they may be, then they are the centre of the community. And you know everybody in that community, you know, our sites in Borough Market or in Tottenham Court Road, wherever they are, you try and attract people within a close radius of that.
Hi Ed, lovely to meet you.
Hello, and you?
Well, welcome to the O2 today.
Thank you very much.
So first of all, tell us a little bit about your story, how you came up with the idea of the Gentlemen Baristas.
We've been going for 5 years now, which doesn't seem like a huge amount of time, but it feels like probably the equivalent of sort of 30 years work, really, day-to-day running the business, and it's been, you know, it's been a massive challenge sort of for many reasons. But the reason we started the business, myself and my co-founder Henry Ayres, both of us coffee nuts, really passionate about coffee. We felt that there was something lacking in specialty coffee, and that something lacking was customer service.
So you've gone from 1 to 2 to now 8.
Yeah, it all happened quite quickly. So we opened our original coffee house on Union Street, which was, I mean, it was it was all a bit by chance. We were both, at that stage, we were both working for the same company and both a bit fed up. And we were shown around this sort of what is actually called coffee house. We were shown around this old sort of, you know, lovely kind of 17th century building in London Bridge. Mainly to look at it to see, well, you know, could a coffee shop be opened here? We were there more as consultants than anything. Okay. The person that was showing us around had no idea that we wanted to open our own place.
Okay. And what are the challenges, would you say? What are the key kind of challenges that you faced on that journey to 8?
You know, neither of us had run a business before. We quickly realised that we had to settle into kind of job roles. So we wrote job descriptions for each other that we were like, right, I'll focus on that, you focus on that, and then we'll stop kind of, you know, treading on each other's toes.
And how have you've clearly had, as you say, as you've grown your business, you've had to take on staff and build a team. How do you go about ensuring you're bringing on the right people that are going to deliver what is clearly a unique part of your business and the service?
Well, absolutely. I'd say it's the biggest challenge, you know, because you know, our interview process with people early on was essentially we sit them down and say, well, let's have a chat. You know, be yourself, be genuine. We didn't have a script. We don't have kind of, you know, we don't. There's no kind of, hello, I'm so and so, and I'm your waiter today. It's not that. It's very much, we want you to pay attention to the customers. We want you to engage with them in your own way. We want you to remember them, and there was something happened at the coffee house that was just, it was just wonderful to see. We walked in one morning and no one was ordering a coffee. Everyone was just arriving at the counter and they instantly knew what they wanted. Yeah. And it was brilliant. You sort of, you know, it was almost like everyone became a host. And so sort of someone would come to the counter, oh, hey, how you doing? You know, how was the holiday last week? And you know, the cup was already being taken out. So we sort of, you know, they know they had a flat white. And so that was going down the line. They moved along the line, the barista then behind the machine. Yeah, it's a holiday good, yeah. And sort of, it became a real kind of, I suppose, a centre of the community. And
one of my questions to you was going to be about actually how do you attract customers? Clearly that service experience is part of repeating it, but I guess when opening up a new coffee shop, how do you go about driving that?
One of our key words within our business is community. And so our idea is that wherever we open, wherever they may be, then they are the centre of the community. So, you know, you are engaged in that community and you know everybody in that community, you know, the coffee house or our sites in Borough Market or in Tottenham Court Road, wherever they are, they should be absolutely the centre of that community and the focus, and you try and attract people within, you know, a close radius of that. That style of marketing or that style of kind of promotion, it takes longer, and you have to be patient with it because you've got to build an audience. But the idea was that, you know, we knew we could build an audience that would remain loyal to us, and so therefore once they're there, you know you're going to have that really strong foundation, sort of, and they're going to keep coming back. Yeah.
And what would you say are some of the key lessons that you've learned that maybe you could kind of pass on to other aspiring businesses?
Staying true to why you started it and remembering why you started it. Because, you know, we're up to 8 sites now and we've got about 140, 150 staff. You know, very easy to lose sight of what we originally started this for. And so that's the biggest thing. I think you've got to stay motivated. If you lose interest as the business owner, then how are you going to inspire your staff to do, you know, to come to work every day and to carry out all the things you're asking them to do? You know, you have to drive the sort of, you know, the culture. You have to drive the workforce. You know, you have to really sort of be the one that will do anything. And Henry and I still work in the business. You know, we still get our hands dirty, and that's really, really important.
So we talk about growth, and you're clearly having great success, but I'm sure that's not been a kind of a smooth trajectory.
No, absolutely not.
So how do you maintain that flexibility? in the business?
It's staying relevant and actually sort of, I think for us it's all about concept. So it's all about, how our concept evolves and changes in terms of our offering, But that's kind of, what we offer has to be flexible because you've got to change it. You've got to reinvent it every season with food and drink. You've got to reinvent it.
So you mentioned about keeping ideas fresh. How do you drive that innovation then within the business?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to kind of, it's a really creative process. And with any kind of creative process, it doesn't exist until you've thought of it and then developed it and developed it and developed it and failed and developed and failed. It's a really interesting process. And it's one that you really want to kind of, I mean, we're very much, we're very, I suppose, keen to empower our staff in terms of sort of we want to take their ideas. We want to take their ideas and we want to sort of, we want to encourage them to share their ideas. They're the ones that work in the sites every single day. They're there. They hear the customers. They sort of know what people are asking for. And we want to sort of, really, I suppose, sort of celebrate their ideas.
Yeah.
And so, and take those ideas and help them develop them.
And tell me, what role has technology played in the business?
Huge for sort of all aspects of the business, really. I mean, in sort of, in terms of sort of the latest technology with coffee, and we look at kind of, coffee machines and how sort of advanced coffee machines have become is massive in terms of that. But then also in terms of, data analysis.
Okay.
For a company like ours, we've got 500 to 1,000 transactions a day. It's incredibly important that we know what people are buying, when they're buying it, the quantities, what we're wasting, stock control, those kind of things. So in terms of EPOS systems and stock control systems, it's been a real challenge to find the right one that works for us.
And tell me, as a kind of a co-founder, starting and running your own business is not something you do 9 to 5. So
no.
How do you kind of maintain your health and well-being and focus on you while?
It's incredibly difficult because, I mean, it still is all-consuming, but you become better at compartmentalising bits and sort of, going, right, I'm going to switch that off until tomorrow or next week or whenever you sort of, you're next going to look at it. And it's true, you get so involved in it and so, I suppose, engrossed in just every single little detail that it is very hard to switch off. Now, there's striking the right balance between that because you don't, you can't start up a business yourself and do it 9 to 5. It's not a normal job. You do have to work incredibly hard, and the hours that you put in are, ludicrous, but that's really important. So strike the right balance, put in enough time, be efficient with your time and be sort of, completely committed to it, but also then find that time, to step away and not think about it.
So what would be your top 3 tips for someone either kind of thinking of starting out or, taking that next step to kind of move forward and grow?
I suppose with that, it's like any kind of like new business, there's lots of transferable skills, there's lots of transferable kind of, ideas. And I mean, first and foremost, whatever it is, think your concept through completely, have a really clear idea of what your concept is and be able to sum it up really quickly. We were very keen, straight away, Gentlemen Baristas, well-mannered coffee.
That's it.
That's what, and from that, then you can kind of start elaborating, saying, this is what sets us apart. This is what makes us different as the Gentlemen Baristas. This is what we will try as hard as we can to do every single day. I suppose second is, and certainly, in relation to our business, is the right people around you, the right staff. You need people who are going to buy into what you're doing. That's so important that, if they don't really believe in it, they're never going to do it properly. It's really important to kind of, to be really involved in the business, but also be able to step back and go, right, how are we going to change this? What do we need to evolve? What do we need to change here? Because if you're stuck every single day just in the sort of, in the coalface and doing it, you often can miss problems and you miss issues and you miss things that need to be changed. And 3, I think, this is a big mistake we made. We hadn't really planned, or we didn't really have a particularly strong budget, and thinking about money and financially, we kind of, for me, I mean, I took up the kind of financial control position, and it became apparent very quickly that I was going to have to, really learn that side of the business. You can get to the stage where you've got accountants and you've got bookkeepers and stuff like that, but you need to know what's coming in and what's going out.
Yeah.
Every single month, you have to know. If you don't know, it's game over, really.
We wish you the best of luck in the future with your business.
Cheers,
and thank you very much for joining us today.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.